Tomorrow marks 1 week without power through PG&E because the person I pay rent to didn't pay the utilities. With this being a new revelation, I thought I'd give you guys all a timeline as to what's happened that just rubs me the wrong way or just seems borderline illegal. When we moved in March 8th of 2022, we were informed that no matter what happens, that we would never end up homeless because this is a church home and that, it's run by the church and there's never going to be an issue. We were also informed that we would receive a lease and house keys. We never received either. We paid $2,000 cash and never even received a receipt. That was on our own fault. That's $800 deposit, $1,200 for rent, deposit, first month's rent. When we paid her the $2,000, we informed her that this is all the money we have. We don't currently have a job. I'm disabled, but not considered disabled anymore through California. And my partner is looking avidly for a job. So for about a month, she knew that he was not employed. And for that first month, we were just trying to kind of readjust to this new living. She deemed us not trying hard enough, and one day when we came back from the store, I caught on our security camera, because I set up my phone as a little Facebook Live security, because we had suspected things had been going missing or just things didn't seem right in the room. We caught her unlocking the door, coming into our room, turning things off, breaking and entering. And then within an hour later, she came by with her godson and essentially told us that she's going to take us somewhere for resources, that it's just 10 minutes up the road, that just let's go, it's going to be really quick. So I got my kid in their car seat. They're about 4 months old at this time. And I get in the car with my partner. It is not a resource center. It is a day shelter. And she told us to get out of her car and said that she's dropping us off. I told her, you have to give us 30-day notice. You can't just kick us out. You can't just drop us off at the day shelter. And she told us no, that she doesn't have to listen to that. That she can do whatever she wants. That it's her house. Thankfully, my partner had a job lined up the next day, so he informed her that he has an interview, and she willingly, she allowed us, that's better, she allowed us to get back in her car and bring us back to the property. By that time, I had already started to fall into a panic attack. I have PTSD, I'm autistic, as well as a few other things I'm not going to get into. So I was already struggling really, really hard. When I opened the door to our room, there was a man bagging our stuff into trash bags. Half of our stuff was already out in the living room. I guess I didn't notice that because I go through the kitchen. So when we asked him what he was doing, why was he in our room, he told us that he had been paid to do that he had been hired to bag our stuff and put it into storage because we won't be needing it. Because of my panic attacks and other issues, I have an ESA. My ESA was cowering underneath my kids' pop and play to the point where I couldn't get them out. And thankfully, my partner was able to calm me down through the panic attack, but usually my ESA did it, so that was a struggle. There's also been a few other things that arose. The sink's been busted since we basically moved in. It's held together because of my partner applying duct tape, because the person that they said came by to look at it, he looked at the stove and he looked at the sink. He said he needed parts for both and has not been back in a year. The oven still emits gas when you turn the oven on to try and bake anything, and the sink still needs a top up on duct tape every now and then. For the other things that have caused issues, that would be the violence from the roommates. I've had to call the police on multiple occasions because of panic attacks to the point where I couldn't breathe and I had no one here available for me. All the while, they threatened to beat my white trash ass, dig 3 holes, build 10 caskets. I don't understand these numbers, but still. The threats were really, really real. And because of that, I had to ask for help. I have like 2 or 3 ambulance bills now because I had to be brought to the hospital because I couldn't be okay. Looking back, I feel really pathetic for that, but I really needed help, and I couldn't be there for my child because of it. Hold on. You wanna watch this? I'm almost done. So it was a big struggle. And since then, we've been informed that we're not even allowed to acknowledge him. If he screams anything, that's just the way he talks, and that we should just ignore it. So that's been about a year of constant stress, unlivable conditions. I can't even leave my room to make a normal meal. I eat off of cup of noodle. Because when I do go out there, he's either screaming or they're fighting or it's like a disaster in the kitchen, and I don't think I should have to clean after other people just to be able to use a single burner. On multiple occasions I've had to clean up after him, which was really frustrating because one of my roommates likes to defecate on the toilet seat and leave blood on the toilet seat because they still receive a period. The only other female in the house that receives a period but likes to blame it on me. But that, I digress. If I could, I would. You know, I can't call my parents or my grandparents. They're dead. Sadly, they've passed within the last 10 years. I'm the last living member of my family other than my 2 siblings, which they're better off in their own life, away from mine. So, as for blood, I have my child. As for assistance and help, I have God. But he doesn't seem to be receiving my calls. Or he's receiving them, and I just need to be patient. I'm not gonna cry. So, if anyone has any advice, tips, help, or just funny things, funny stories they want to tell me, I'd appreciate it. Because I'm trying. I don't think I'm trying hard enough, so I'm gonna try harder. For them. But it's hard. And I really, really want to go home. I would love to go home to my parents because it seems like it'd be the easier choice. But I refuse to go home to them because they need me. Because it wouldn't be fair to them. So, hopefully, my story can be some inspiration because I am still here and I'm still trying. So you can too.